team ingredients, Julio Iglesias. And this is to all the girls I loved before. I am now the Spanish galleon captain. And what do I have in my galleon? Here you ask. Well, since you do ask, and I say, I have a galleon full of the plunder. Oh, very precious cargo in my galleon. You see, mis amigos, I love my country, España. Viva España! I love the flamenco. And more than all this together, I love el oro. Gold. And we have a galleon full of all the gold. Maravilloso. And we have this convoy, this ship is floating together with other ships. And we call this a flota. But the flota can be a bit of a surprise to quite a few people, and not many people like the flota. So sometimes we call it a flotilla. So in this flotilla, we have a couple of the Spanish galleons. Why do we have the Spanish battle galleons, the big galleons, I hear you ask? To protect us from the menace of the seas. They lie in wait. They wait for us, lurking ready to attack us. The dirty, the stinky, the nasty pirates. The pirates! Hola!
From about 1630, the Caribbean islands of Hispaniola and Tortuga became to be home to runaway servants and slaves. They were soon joined by all sorts of roughnecks, including wanton criminals and sailors who'd been thrown off their ships. To survive, they began hunting wild cattle and pigs and used a boucan to smoke the meat the way the locals did. And as a result, they became known as buccaneers. This was later pronounced buccaneers. Their transition from hunters to robbers was gradual and motivated in part by the Spanish efforts to try and get rid of them by attacking them and killing their cattle. So they fought back. They attacked the Spanish ships by leaping into dugout canoes, climbing aboard and stealing whatever they could. The buccaneers were soon joined by many more French, Dutch and English adventurers who wanted some of the action. Capturing the Spanish ships and stealing the valuables on board, they became known as pirates, from the Latin word pirata, meaning sea robber. And they rowed further and further across the seas to look for more and more victims.
Tutto spera. Un momento. Our ship is falling behind the other ships. And I love el oro. I love the gold. And maybe we have taken too much gold on board. It is weighing us down. Oh no! We are getting left behind. Oh, por favor! Por favor! Ay! Mis amigos! Piratas! Piratas! Pirates! Oh no! These are the Blackbeard! The man with the Blackbeard! Ay! Por favor! Por favor! Blackbeard! Stinky pirates! And Blackbeard! Ah, gold!
Pirates used many types of ships, but their most preferred vessels were ships called sloops and schooners because they were very fast and agile. They could easily catch up with the target and had a shallow depth, which meant they could hide in bays and wait to hit and run passing ships, and also quickly be sailed into shallow waters where warships couldn't reach them. Pirates also captured and upgraded galleon and frigate ships, and the most famous captured pirate ship of them all was the Queen Anne's Revenge, captained by one of the most infamous pirates of all, Captain Blackbeard.
Surrender or die, sea dogs! The galleon is ours! Yes, it's me, the most famous pirate in the Caribbean, the most famous pirate of all time, Captain Blackbeard! It's me, of course! On account of my black beard, to go with my black heart, and guess how I like my coffee? That's right! White! Not really! Black, of course! Ho, 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 ho! I got 3 pistols, I got 14 wives, I got 300 crew, I got 40 guns, and a fleet of 6 ships! But this ship's my lady, the Queen Anne's Revenge. A merchant ship I done stole from the French Navy, giving it some serious bit of upgrading to turn it into the big, mean, monster ship she is! And now we're in hot pursuit of another galleon, a Spanish galleon, loaded with booty! And my old hearties, I love the booty!
Blackbeard's real name was Edward Teach, and he was born in Bristol, England, and began life as a sailor in the Royal Navy on privateer ships, which were ships given a licence called a letter of marque by the nation's government or monarch to attack and plunder and steal without being arrested for it, with pirates only pirates if ships were attacked and plundered without a licence.
So, we go for maximum scare the pants off tactics! First, we fire a few cannon shots. Let them rip, boys! Second, we raise old Blackbeard's flag. Fly the flag, boys! And third, I put lengths of ropes in my beard and set fire to it, so it looks like my whole head is on fire. Scares the blinking heebie-jeebies out of them all. Forward, lads! It's time for a booty call! Let's get them scallywagging bilge rats! Sail ho!
The main purpose of pirate flags were to terrify their intended victims to the point where they'd surrender the moment they saw them. Although pirates were usually excellent in combat, they generally preferred to take a vessel without a battle. Most people think of the familiar skull and crossbone flags called the Jolly Roger, which may be a play on the nickname for the devil himself, Old Roger, or a loose version of the Jolly Rouge, meaning red flag, as the earliest pirate flags were just solid red or black. A red flag came to mean no quarter given, meaning that no mercy would be shown and no life would be spared, while a black flag usually meant that those who surrendered without a fight would be allowed to live. Over time, some captains began to embellish their flags with fearsome symbols. Blackbeard's flag featured a horned skeleton holding a spear aimed at a heart that is dripping with blood in one hand, while raising a toast to death with the other. And here are some other pirate designs.
All right then. So what's occurring? Huh? What's occurring? Well, welcome to Pirate Paradise. See? Pirate Paradise. You see, Blackbeard and us pirates, we can't stay at sea forever. No, we need a place to unwind, to kick back, and to spend all those ill-gotten pirate gains, you see, and have fun. Have a little bit of fun without worrying we're going to be arrested or strung up, which is not good, is it? That's not lovely for you, is it? No. So, we have several what we like to call safe havens around the world. But this one here is my particular favourite. The village of Port Royal in Jamaica. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. So you gotta be cautious, like, you gotta be cautious. And tomorrow, I gotta round up some crew for the ship. A lot of died on board ship, see? And I gotta go do tomorrow, but tonight I can do what I want, see? Unwind a little bit. So I get to drink, I get to eat, I get to have some fun, and also get to fire off some of my favourite pirate weapons. Let me show you here. So the first one here, over here we have what they call a musket, see? Shall we have a little go? I know we're inside, but you know, bit of spring in the step of the locals. Here we go, here we go. There we go, there's lovely for you. So there's your musket over here. What else can I show you? Well, I've also got the flintlock pistol here. Just fires the one ball mine and all the rest of it. So it takes a while to load and all the rest of it. But when you finish firing the shot, you can always use the butt end and whack someone over the head with it. It's lovely for you, lovely for you. So let's have a little fire that, shall we? Here we go, and oh, there's lovely. What a beaut she is, what a beaut. But my particular favourite, I like to show you. I'm not going to lie to you, this is my particular favourite over here. It's the one-man cannon we call the blunderbuss over here. Big one-man cannon, fires shot in all kinds of directions over here. We shouldn't really fire this inside, should we? But why not? Here we go then. Here we go for the blunderbuss. Are you ready? It's lovely for you. Here we go. there is lovely. Oh, you look at that beauty, look at that beauty. And of course, once you've fired all those up, you've got your pirate's trusty sword, the little curved, short broadsword called a cutlass, you know. It's got a curved blade. It's right handy for fights on board ship, you see, because the longer swords get all tangled in the rigging and stuff like that. And it's very hard to move the longer swords in a tight space. Makes a bit of a mess, and that's not tidy. Not tidy. Cutlass, there's lovely for you. There's lovely for you.
Other pirate weapons included crow's feet, thrown onto decks of ships as enemies were boarding. The crow's feet go right through your foot. Hand grenade, named after Granada, the Spanish word for pomegranate. These were small glass bottles or wooden or iron clay pots containing gunpowder, broken glass and iron scraps, and you lit the fuse with a burning taper and threw it at your enemy. Stink pot was a small clay pot filled with burning sulphur, tar or rotten fish, and were thrown on decks and were so smelly the gas left victims coughing and spluttering and distracted from fighting, making it easier to take their ship.
Oh, that's minging, that is. That's buzzing, that is. That's buzzing. Oh, Captain Blackbeard, he's off somewhere. The lads tell me he's gone to an alehouse and he's got himself a pet howler monkey. Named it Jefferson. Named it Jefferson. Tiny. See, lots of us pirates, we have pets like cats and dogs. Of course, we have a few parrots and stuff like that. I heard of one pirate, he had himself a pet penguin. A pet penguin. Tomorrow, as I say to you, I got to round up a few new pirate recruits to join the crew, you know. Due to quite a lot of the lads, and they suddenly ended up, I'm sorry to say, in Davy Jones's locker. Now this is a place where all us dead pirates go, all the spirits of the dead pirates at the bottom of the sea, see? Bottom of the sea, see? Alright. You see, we got a few vacancies going because a lot of us crew, we've been blown to bits and drowned, some hung, shot, died of disease, some eaten by sharks, and so a few vacancies available, and I reckon I'll get me a few of the crew because I'm not being funny. In a world, right? In a world where you can be hung for stealing a shilling, you might as well go the whole 10,000 leagues and make your crimes pay, right? Oh, tidy, right? All right.
The rewards of being a pirate could be huge, with chances to make as much as £4,000 per year, $4 million a year in today's money. But a pirate's life was generally a savage struggle for survival, with most dead or worn out by the time they reached their 30s. They caught all kinds of diseases such as gangrene, yellow fever, dysentery and scurvy, which you get from not getting enough vitamin C from fresh fruit and vegetables. It gave them rotten teeth and gums, and over 50% of sailors and pirates on any given voyage would eventually die from scurvy alone. A pirate could be frozen and soaked by winter storms or grilled by a tropical sun beating down on them all day. Life on board ship was damp, cramped, dangerous, smelly and disgusting.
Maldito! I curse you! Hola! Hola! I've been locked down in the hold of the Blackbeard ship for the last few days now. Ever since the filthy pirate captured my beautiful galleon, and they brought me on deck to try and get me to talk, to tell them what other course the loaded Spanish galleons were taking. But I haven't told them, so they called the master, the stinky party called the master. He tied me on the deck, tried to loosen my tongue with a flogging, with a cat of the 9 tails. I love the cat, but not this one, stinky, filthy, nasty pirate. But they make a mess of my back. They make a mess of my beautiful, the silken shirt. Oh, the pen! Patatas bravas! Stinky pirata!
To become a pirate was called to go on account, and the way pirates distributed their wealth and took care of their own was entirely democratic, with the ship's captain elected by all the men in the crew. Before setting sail, each crew member would sign a document known as a pirate code, which listed that ship's wages, treasure splits and rules, including how much money a pirate received should he be maimed or lose a limb. But the rules also ensured there were some serious punishments if you stepped out of line. Flogging, whipped on your back with a cat o' nine tails, keel hauling, tied to a rope and dragged underwater underneath the ship. Sold as a slave, whatever race or creed, if you broke the code, this was a typical punishment. Marooning, left alone on an uninhabited desert island to die.
After much persuasion, I told the captain, the Blackbeard, with the rest of the treasure ships were heading, so he spared my life. But then I got some kind of ranky disease. And so not to pass it on to the rest of the crew, they got rid of me by leaving me stranded here on this island. To die! In my maroon, I feel like an old and moldy tortilla! I've been here for 2 days. There's no fresh water, no food. My mouth feels like the back end of a donkey. They leave me with a pistol, with 1 shot, in case I want to end it all and to die. Anyway, I've lit a fire to try and catch the attention of the passing ships. I hope they see the smoke and come to my rescue. My friends, it is not over for Captain Inglesias. I will Flamenco again! Hola!
Maynard's the name, Lieutenant Robert Maynard of the British Royal Navy. Ding dong! Jolly good to see you. I sail on my ship, the HMS Pearl, and I've been put in charge of hunting down and bringing that beastly scoundrel Edward Teach to justice. You know him better as Captain Blackbeard. I've been put in charge by the governor of Virginia himself. Christ! But ding dong, I won't let him down. You see, Blackbeard is supposedly retired, but the governor feels he could be a threat still to Virginia, should he resume his beastly pirating careers. Cripes! But oh, by gee, by Josh, by gosh, by Joe, Maynard's a name, don't you know? And I'm gonna get that beastly scoundrel, Christ, golly gosh, Josh!
Contrary to popular belief, Blackbeard was not at all the way legends have made him out to be, and was in fact, compared to many other pirates, fairly peaceful and rather bad at plundering. He became a hero to many in England who saw him as a Robin Hood type figure, standing up to the tyrannical ruling class. Here are some more famous pirates. Captain William Kidd, born in Scotland, became a privateer, ended up in America, married a rich widow and became very wealthy and very bored. He was hired to capture Blackbeard, but on failing to do so became a pirate himself. He was executed in London and his body placed in an iron cage on the bank of the River Thames for almost 20 years as an example to other would-be pirates. Henry Morgan, a Welsh privateer who made a name in the Caribbean as leader of the buccaneers. He raided many Spanish settlements, and in 1617, with 36 ships and 2,000 men, he captured the city of Panama. He stole vast amounts of treasure, and although arrested, he was eventually pardoned, given a knighthood, and became the governor of Jamaica. Black Bart, Bartholomew Roberts, or Black Bart as he became known, broke all pirating records and during his 3-year reign of fear captured more than 400 ships. Born in Wales, he travelled and plundered towns and forts from West Africa to Brazil. He was shot and killed in a battle at sea. Anne Bonny, born in Ireland, and Mary Read from England ended up in the Bahamas, where they at different times met pirate Calico Jack Rackham and joined his crew. They both disguised themselves as men on ship and fought as fiercely as any of the men. They were captured in 1720, Calico Jack was hung, but Anne Bonny was saved from execution because she was pregnant, whilst Mary Read died from fever in prison.
Jolly good luck, old chaps! Cripes, jolly good luck, ding dong! It seems we've been given a tip-off by a marooned Spanish galleon captain we picked up on a desert island a few days back. He was marooned by none other than Captain Blackbeard himself, that beastly scoundrel. Now, I'll soon be dispatching some crewmen, dispatching them from my ship, the HMS Pearl, and crewmen from the other Navy ship under my command, the HMS Lime. And I've commandeered 2 merchant sloops. Golly, Christ, we're gonna get him. We're gonna use these ships to sail down the North Carolina coast and locate Blackbeard's ship. Cripes! Anyway, it's all rather thrilling and jolly exciting. And with most of Blackbeard's men ashore, he won't stand a chance. Cripes, he won't. Some jolly good luck is coming our way, and some jolly bad luck is coming his way. Rather, ding dong! Oh, by gee, by Josh, by gosh, by Joe! Maynard's the name, capturing Blackbeard. Don't you know? Cripes! I gotta stay on alert. Me and the lads, we got 2 Royal Navy ships following us, led by Lieutenant Maynard, a pirate hunter, after old Captain Blackbeard. They're advancing us now,
but they're only in small ships with no cannons. When we got our 8 cannons loaded, and the boys and me, we're well up for a scrap. Finding way through these waters, we're gonna lure them to the sandbanks, and they'll be well and truly stuck. And then we'll blast them to pieces. Prepare to feed the fish, boys. Here they come! Batten down the hatches! All hands hoy! Get those cannons firing! Let's get the Royal Navy dogs! Well, you see, Blackbeard, he got Maynard's ship stuck on a sandbank as he had planned, ripping it apart with his cannons. His deck was covered with dead and dying sailors, and so we pulled up alongside and started hurling grenades, we did. Smoke was everywhere, like. Then Blackbeard then goes and leaps aboard Maynard's ship, and we all started to follow, like. Suddenly, Maynard and dozens of uninjured sailors rushed up from the hold of the ship, where they'd been hiding, see, and they started fighting, and we gave as good as we got, like. But to be honest with you, Blackbeard, he was right tiny, like. He was right tiny, he was slashing wildly with his cutlass and bellowing like a huge bull he was. A huge bull he was. When he's face to face with Maynard himself. Pistols are drawn. Maynard doesn't take a shot, but Blackbeard does. But he stayed on his feet. It's like being whipped open by a bullet, like. I know, tiny. Then Blackbeard, he carries on fighting more fiercely than ever. I loves it. I loves watching him fight. Now Maynard tries to defend himself with his sword, and then Blackbeard, he strikes so hard, he breaks Maynard's sword in two. He was just about to do the killer blow to Maynard when another Navy sailor comes up to him and puts his sword in Blackbeard's throat. Humming it was, actually. Humming, to be honest with you. Buzzing. Oh, not good at all. Not a beauty. Not a beauty at all. Our captain was dead, and on seeing that, us men soon gave up, like. Some escaping by jumping into the sea, and some, like me, unfortunately, getting captured. He had taken 20 sword wounds and 5 bullet wounds to bring our captain down. And just to be sure he was dead, Maynard, he had his head cut off, didn't he? And strung to the front of the ship. But yo ho ho, it's been a rampaging, roistering ride. It's still a pirate's life for me. You see, we pillage, we plunder, we rifle, we loot, drink up me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap, we ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up me hearties, yo ho, and there's lovely for you. A pirate's life for me.
There were 14 pirates from Blackbeard's crew executed in Virginia, and including Blackbeard, another 9 pirates were killed on ship. But it wasn't just Blackbeard and pirates such as Black Bart and Captain Kidd who got what was coming to them. Between 1716 and 1726, more than 400 pirates were captured and found guilty and executed. With their bodies dipped in tar and displayed around ports, sailors began to think twice about taking up a life of piracy, and by 1730, the so-called Golden Age of Piracy had come to an end.